These darn cyclists, they think they own the road. The road are made for cars, not for bikes.
Well, maybe, Daddy, they should ride on the sidewalk.
You're right.
Look, Daddy, there's a cyclist up ahead.
That's right. I have to make sure that I give him his room because we need to share the road with the cyclists.
With the new hub trail and high price in gas, cycling is becoming a much more common scene in Sault Ste. Marie. As both cyclists and drivers, there's a right way to do things and a wrong way. As cyclists, we need to follow the rules, same as drivers. As drivers, we need to be cautious of cyclists and be good teachers to our children who will be the next generation.
Well, as far as the Highway Traffic Act, which regulates traffic in the province of Ontario, which includes bicycles, bicycles are considered to be vehicles and therefore are required to obey all traffic laws, including red lights, stop signs, must stop for school buses. In terms of how they operate on the roadway, they must be in the right lane or as close to the right shoulder as practical and safe to do so. There's also limitations. They cannot have passengers on the bicycle unless it's designed for that. People under 18 must wear a helmet. There's also bylaws in the city of Sault Ste. Marie which govern the use of bicycles and state that you cannot operate a bicycle on a sidewalk unless you're 10 years of age and under. You cannot operate a bicycle across a crosswalk. You must yield to pedestrians when they're in a crosswalk when you're on a bicycle. You shouldn't be passing on the right of vehicles. That's also against the law as well. The bylaw has a component there about not riding side by side. Again, to facilitate the safe movement of traffic throughout the city. The sidewalk is a bylaw that prohibits you from riding on the sidewalk, and people say, well, I can't just ride on the sidewalk all the time, wouldn't that be safer? The reason is vehicles are constantly pulling in and under driveways. They're expecting to look for pedestrians on the sidewalk, and that's what the sidewalk is designed for, is pedestrians. And a cyclist at a high rate of speed on a sidewalk would create a serious safety concern for vehicles backing out of driveways, pulling into driveways. Because again, the pedestrian is generally moving much slower. People have a chance to see the pedestrian, whereas the cyclist is faster and could create a collision which could cause serious injury or death. The bike should always ride in the right lane, or if there is only one lane, as close to the right-hand side of the roadway as practicable and safe to do so. We're not expecting people to ride into the potholes right at the right side of the road, but they should be, again, as close to the right side of the lane as safe to do so. You have to remember that you have to stop at the red light just as a car does. You are a vehicle under the Highway Traffic Act, so you have to stop. You can be issued a fine just like a car can for going through a red light. You must wait for the light to change green before you go. Stop sign, you must come to a complete stop and then proceed, again, just like a car. One of the few times you are allowed to leave that right lane is to go into a turn lane at a light, and that's the way you'd make a proper light. You must also signal your intentions to turn, just like a car does. And again, if you don't signal with the use of a hand signal, you could be charged with failing to signal. People should be conscious of cyclists, that they have a right to be on the roadway, that's their proper place. They should ensure that they do, when a cyclist needs to make a change, to make a turn, that they expect them to be in those turn lanes, they're allowed to be there, and they have to let them proceed in a safe manner. The hub trail, as you know, cyclists and pedestrians are permitted, inline skaters as such on the hub trail. However, the hub trail rules, which govern the hub trail and are posted on the hub trail, say that cyclists will give the right of way to pedestrians. If you were not to do that or to violate one of the rules of the hub trail, you are come on the auspice of the Trespass to Property Act, and you could be charged accordingly for engaging in any activity which is prohibited on the hub trail. Cyclists need to have a approved helmet if they're under the age of 18 years. If it's a person under the age of 16 years, their parent is responsible for that as well. But anybody under the age of 18 doesn't have a helmet could be issued a ticket. As far as equipment on the actual bicycle, you have to have proper working brakes. You have to have a light at nighttime, half hour before sunset and a half hour after sunrise. A visible white light to the front, red light to the rear, or a red reflector. You must also have reflectors to the front and back as well. You also have to have a working horn all the time, every day, and this comes as a very important factor when you are operating on the hub trail. You need to warn pedestrians that you are coming. You can use the horn, bell, some kind of noise-making device on the bike to warn them that you are coming from behind.
So the next time you're driving down the road and you see a cyclist ahead, try not to think of that cyclist as an inconvenience in your path, but remember that that cyclist could be your neighbor or your coworker. It could be Steve Demidovich, local postal carrier, Mark Skornyanki, local firefighter, commuting to work to save gas and get some exercise. It could be Dr. Eric Piscopo, local dentist training for his next big race in Europe. Or his wife, Dr. Linda Hadley, exercising on her bike. Or it could be Richard McClellan, local speed skater, training for the national team and next Winter Olympics. If you would like more information on bicycle safety, you can visit www.ssmps.org, or you can call the station at 705-949-6300 and ask to speak with traffic services if you have any questions related to traffic or bike safety. For Shaw TV, I'm David Carlasio.